Hello everyone, and welcome to the first video on this channel in 2021, and also the first booktube video of this channel in 2021. That is very exciting for me, so woohoo! Yay for content, am I right? So hello, my name is PM and I'm a spoken word poet, an aspiring writer now, a book blogger, and also a postgrad student. So in the coming year, I will be trying to upload weekly and upload content related to all that good stuff. So if you are into that, please remember to hit subscribe and share this video if you find it useful. And if you are more of a reader than a watcher, you can check out the link in the description that will take you to the accompanying blog post for this video, because I also have a book blog. I wanted to do a book blog and a booktube because I'm extra like that. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. So, reading resolutions. Why are they important and why do I want to talk about them? So obviously, it's a new year and reading resolution videos have come up a lot more in my YouTube recommended. But from what I've seen, booktubers tend to go about it at roughly the same angle. They take roughly the same take on it. A reading resolutions video usually involves a booktuber giving a huge to be read list and saying, my reading resolution is to read, 100 books more than I read last year, because last year I read 100 books and I want to read faster and I want to read these books and blah blah blah. And there's nothing wrong with that sentiment at all. If it works for you, if it works for them, fab, continue, click away. But I wanted to make this video for the camp of people who might be like me, who are well-intentioned when it comes to their reading habits, but whose attempts to carry out those reading habits might look something like this. January, time to read 50 books.
One eternity later.
And done! Wow, I can't believe how quickly I read all those books. And also how wonderful my hair looks. From what I've seen, at least, slow reading is undervalued in and outside of the booktube community. The most popular search related to books and how to read is how to read faster, how to read more effectively, and how to read more, which is a sentiment that I see crop up all the time. But what I think we need to do is change those sentiments to how to read more intentionally. This is mostly because I see no point in setting goals like read more books or read X amount of books if they have no rhyme or reason to them. We need to think about where these resolutions come from and why exactly we want to reach that goal in the first place. For me, I know the pressure to read more comes from a simple desire to read more books because I like books. I want to read as much as possible before I die. The sentiment of there's so many great books and I want to read them all and I love books and books are great. But that's not possible. In the new year, and especially right now with everything that's happening, we all search for and want that clean start, that fresh slate to start with and start over. So many of us, me included, will just keep buying more and more books in order to try and fulfill our goal of reading X amount of books or reading more. And then the old ones start to gather dust, the ones that we buy and never read, and then we just keep buying more, and then by the end of the year, we've only finished one book. But before we judge ourselves for only finishing one book, we need to ask ourselves, was that one book more valuable than all the other ones that I've bought or put on my to-be-read list? And if yes, then in my opinion, That's better than reading 50 books on top of it, or trying to pressure yourself to read 50 books on top of it. Like with any goal setting, it's important to not look at just the big picture, right? It's important to not just look at how many books we're reading. We need to look at the quality of what that book provides us. I felt insecure about starting a booktube this year because I think in 2020, ironically, I only read about 20 books and I didn't count them, so it might have even been less. And I thought to be a booktuber, you had to be a fast reader and read tremendous amounts of books every week. But I realised that the few books that I did read, I absolutely loved. And I was telling everyone about the books that I read. And I realised that I just love books and I love talking about books, which I think qualifies me enough to be a booktuber / book blogger. And I think even if you are a fast reader, we can all look at the books in our to be read piles and do a Marie Kondo style exercise. So we can hold the book or scroll through your never-ending list of to be read on Goodreads. I know I'm also guilty of that. So we get the books, look at our list and ask, will reading this book be a valuable experience? Will reading this quickly bring me joy? Or do I want to slow down and read every page and every sentence and every word that the writer has tried to craft and put together to make this book? I know in 2020 I was often guilty of starting a book and flipping to the end and making a note of the number of pages the entire book was, and then as I was reading I would have like a mini countdown in my head, and that took away from the enjoyment of me reading the book and being present with it, because all I was thinking about is, right, 300 pages left, 200 pages left, 100 pages left. And I think that sentiment probably comes from just finishing an undergraduate degree where I had to get a lot of reading done very quickly. So that being said, my reading resolutions are firstly, to do less of that and to be more present when I'm reading. Secondly, to read more poetry, because poetry is love, poetry is life. And I also want to read more poetry so I can feel more inspired in my own writing. And 3, to let myself read as many or as few books as I want to. Because realistically, we're going through a global pandemic and you don't want to add any more pressure to something that's meant to be enjoyable, meant to be escapism, right? So let yourself off the hook and read. Thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. If you did, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment below with your reading resolutions. I'm very curious to hear everyone's resolutions, and if you are actually reading 100 books, hats off to you. I'm just not that person. I just can't do it. Let me know if this video was helpful for you in any way, if you enjoyed it, all that good stuff. And until next week, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Goodbye.